Hello everyone and welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. Sincerely hope everybody is doing amazingly well today. Welcome one and all, whether this is the first time you've ever clicked onto a video or whether you are returning, welcome. Today we are getting into the energy. It's an energy update for the month of March 2022. We're going to be going week to week. Find out what will be happening for you, what will be the overriding energies in March. We've just come out of February. It was an intense month. So let's find out what's going to happen for you next month in March 2022. So we have three piles as usual. We have, as you can see, the blue feather for pile 1. We have the red feather for pile 2, and then we have pile 3. We have yellow feather, and I just smudged, so that happened to the feather. So that may or may not influence you going for pile 3. So as always, take as much time as you need to figure out which pile you want. You're welcome to go ahead and pause the video if you need to, because the timestamps are down below as always. And we will do a general disclaimer, as always, beginning to let you know that these are obviously general readings, because I don't know each and every one of you. So please take what resonates and don't worry about what doesn't. If one pile doesn't resonate, feel free to choose another one. If that pile doesn't resonate, then check back with us for other messages at other times. I'm sure there'll be something for you. So let's get right into your messages. We're going to put aside pile 2 and pile 3 for now. So if you chose the blue feather, then this is your March rundown, your update for the energies of March. Now, what I want to do first of all, and I thought this would be quite fun, is let's make sure you can see that. I'm going to pull one of these making magic cards. So I want to go ahead and pull well, that one went straight out for the energy of March to set up this reading for you. Tree of Life, true wisdom and making good choices in life. Wonderful. So that is the energy in and around your March month. Can't ask for anything better than that. Tree of Life, true wisdom and making good choices in life. Fantastic. So that's the energy, the overarching energy for you in the month of March. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with Oracle. We have 4 oracles, and then we're going to move in for more clarity for tarot a little bit later on. So we're going to start with week 1 of March. So you have insight for week 1, and that's number 26 or number 8 if you put them together. So that's insight. Let's see what we have for you. So the first week of March, you have this incredible sort of expansiveness. Yeah, and this, well, everything's just falling out. So you have this incredible sort of hope, this incredible insight. It feels as though for a lot of you coming out of February, it wasn't necessarily a dark month, but there was a lot going on. There was a lot to handle, a lot of different energies. And within that, you sort of found some balance, and you found the center point of who you are, and yet you're ready to move into the next month and figure that out and really expand it. So the first week going in is sort of, for some of you, it might be a little cautious a little bit, but expansive and interested, almost like I wonder what this month is going to bring us, which is not a bad way to be when we first move into a month. But at the same time, it's not like all doom and gloom or anything. It's nothing heavy about it. It's just like, I'm inquisitive to see how this goes. It feels as though there's a shift in energy again from the month before of everything that you've been through. And there were a lot of ups and downs, not even ups and downs, it's sort of sideways and all sorts of ways, like you were sort of, going with the wind, but trying to keep up. So let's see what we have for you. So this is a wonderful energy to move in for the first part of the week, to start off that first part of your month. That's absolutely incredible. So let's see what else we have for the first week. You've got the Devil, okay, and you've got the Page of Pentacles, and you've got the Queen of Pentacles. Wonderful. So this is the energy of, all right, I'm not doing this the same way as, not that you were doing anything wrong in February at all, but these energies took me everywhere. They took me into darkness, they took me into light, and again, not even these ups and downs, but sort of swaying in and around. So I'm going to approach this very differently coming into March, and I'm going to hold the energy at bay and see what happens. I'm just going to allow things to unfold. And again, it's sort of like seemingly non-committal, but, just curious as to what's going to happen. But also at the same time, as we move into that week, this idea of what you want to happen, and it's starting to mold, it's starting to move forward. There's tangible ways to move forward in the month of March for you, and it really is about securing and solidifying your next movement forward. And also, and this will be a very good thing for you for this month, the month of March, is to not allow the external to really come in and influence in any significant way. To really sort of, it's not exactly having your own bubble, but it's a way of, I'm putting my energy first, and regardless of what happens out in the world, I'm going to do what I need to do. So it's a sort of a redefining of your own energy and moving forward, and it's in a very specific path for most of you, and of course it's a general reading, so for some of you it's like moving or business or whatever it is that you need to get done or move forward. But there's a combination of resources, being focused on your resources, and turning sort of, this alchemist energy, turning in the baseline, turning it all, into gold, moving forward, making more, deliberating how you can do that. Loaves into fishes. I don't know, that's a biblical thing, and I don't even know where the loaves and fishes came from, but something small into something tangible, growing something, putting energy into something, and being very, very, there's no diluted energy in there, being very focused on that, not letting anything or anyone get in the way of that, which is absolutely wonderful. So let's see week 2 as we start building. That's an excellent start. Now you've got the Council of Light, Divine Orchestration Helpers, in the subtle realms. So you're really calling on and really working with your higher self in the week of March, which is absolutely wonderful. You're putting yourself out there sort of in a new way of being, and it's a very confident way of being. And again, it's not that, the month before shook you, but excuse me, it took you in so many different directions. It showed you what you were capable of. And there's a new sense of balance for you now. It's almost like for some of you, it's like, I've got nothing left to lose, Let's just do it. The time is right. You can feel it. You're on this timeline. You're doing it. There may not be an entirely clear vision of what it is that you want to succeed at, but the energy behind moving forward is absolutely there. And that's really all you need. You have these intense, beautiful guides coming in for you, and these are very specific guides that are helping you. Whatever you're working on in the month of March is definitely clicked into your blueprint. It's what it is that you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. So, and again, or a various off the path, or, bringing in that energy. So, of course, you're going to be divinely protected as you do it. You have temperance here of moving forward. Yeah, you have this really wonderful energy. Oh, the Nine of Cups. Love this card. The wish card. You're really making your wishes come true this month. You're putting it into tangible energy. The action is coming in there. The passion is there. But also you have this beautiful, I love this, your tree of life. You've got this true wisdom and making good choices in life. The way in which you're approaching this is a little bit different than you've done before. Let's take the devil. I have nothing against the devil personally, but he doesn't need to be looming in the background. The way in which you're approaching this is, I'm doing this, I've got faith, I know it's going to work out. And at the same time, there's a real essence of alignment, not in control. I'm not doing it as, an element of control. It's alignment, which is really allowing for this beautiful, expansive energy to kind of move you in the right way, but you are taking that action. And there's this real self-assurity that you absolutely know that this is going to happen for you. There's some kind of excitement. And again, it's building. It's, you started with this great energy of moving in. Let's see what happens this month. This happened last month. I was blown all over the place, but at the same time, I got my footing, I got my grounding. I was very clear on what I wanted to do. Let's see how the energy of this month starts out. And you start in with positive, but again, not necessarily, running straight out of the gate, let's go for it. There's just really collected energy. And the second week is really bringing this into fruition, saying, I'm going to take the right aligned action. I know what I'm doing. And it's just this energy of confidence that moves you forward in any way that you want. These powerful guides coming in, you can feel their essence too. You can feel sort of being moved in one direction. You're really listening. You're really listening to your surroundings. You're listening to your heart. You're listening to your soul. You're allowing things to take place, which is a wonderful way of being. But at the same time, there is action. There is this divine action of knowing that you're in the right place at the right time. So this is building beautifully for you. I'm going to leave this on the top, that Nine of Cups card. It's one of my favorite cups. One of my favorite cups. It's one of my favorite cards of the tarot. So you have this guardian angel. This is the third week here. This beautiful third week you've got going on. You've got this incredible alignment with your guides. Now, for some of you, you may have moved out of a set of guides and moved into new guides. For some of you, this is obvious. This is something that you know. But really high energy, very high vibration. For some of you, it's working with sort of soulmates or sort of twin flame action, but they're not necessarily in this lifetime with you. But there's this really divine connection that's in and around you. You feel very protected, especially in the third week. And part of this is because you know you're on the right path. There's a clicking into something that you're doing and it feels right. Again, it's not about looking for the end product or how it's even going to come about. It's just about aligned action. You've got the Hermit here. You've got the Moon. Oh, that's wonderful. And you've got the Two of Wands looking out. So you've got this passionate energy of moving forward, but also there's energy that's coming. There's alignment of knowledge that's coming in. And again, not to go on about it, but what happened in the previous month for you brought up a lot. And you came out of the month of February feeling grounded, all over the place during February, but feeling grounded. And then this is not just a month in March where you make sense of it. You integrate the knowledge, everything that came up in February, and you move it forward in a new way. There's a new level of healing. There's a new level of being in touch with what was previously sort of not unseen, but left unsaid. You're saying things that you didn't say before in a great way. You're really connecting to your truth. You're integrating back into the world the way in which you want to. And you realize as long as you are aligned with your truth, everything that you do with an action after that is going to be aligned also. So there's many different ways that you can do things. There's many different offshoots that you can do. So for some of you in the third week, you'll be thinking about taking what you have and moving them into various different projects. And again, this will look different for each and every one of you because, of course, this is a general reading. Each one of you has your own life. But this could be like, for a lot of you, I'm really interested in doing this, this, and this. How do I balance these three things at the same time, stay in alignment, and move forward? This is not about necessarily making one choice in the month of March. This is about making many different choices, bringing them together, integrating them together, and really lifting up what was left unsaid or left unseen and integrating that into your experience, but bringing it to the general, bringing it out into the world, making a decision, an active decision about how you move forward. For some of you, it'll be that really firm foundation of this is what I'm doing now. I'm doing this, I'm making this decision, I'm moving forward. These decisions that you wanted to make, for those of you who are thinking about making a decision, You may have wanted to make more of a decision the month before, but so much was going on, it wasn't the right time. So now you've come out from the eye of the storm, as it were. You can say, this is what I'm doing. Also, this is for you to make a better life for yourself. This is a way that you can tangibly step up and take action in this aligned way. And again, you feel as though it's divine action, divine alignment. This is feeling as though you're on the right timeline. There's also this expansiveness feeling that anything can happen in a good way, expecting miracles. So there's a part of you, for some of you, as you move through the month, especially on the third week, that you want to keep you want to be in aligned action moving forward, but you want to stay expansive, because it's almost like you don't want to choose one thing. There's so many different things. So again, some of you may be thinking, how can I do these three things at the same time and bring them together? Some of you will be working with that aligned action and saying, I know what I want to do. I know what my truth is. How do I make that tangible? What do I do? But you're making these decisions. But at the same time, you're allowing for that space and that divine interaction that you have. There's a gorgeousness with meeting yourself with that what was hidden, what was unknown before, or what wasn't, sort of in the light. Bringing that out into fruition in the month of March in a really beautiful way. So, and that energy is going to be incorporated into your month and everything that you do. So there's going to be an air of mystery in and around what you do. And, for some of you, you might be going off and working on these projects that aren't quite ready necessarily to be they're going to be integrated in the world, but in a very specific way, and they're going to be a little bit different. And you're going to be approaching things a little bit differently. It's different. It's slightly different, difficult to articulate, because you're moving differently. You're acting differently. You're working differently this month, and expect different results because you're doing things differently. You've figured out, a lot of you are outside of your comfort zone, and you've been outside of your comfort zone for a couple of months. But within that, you've been working with the doubts and the anxiety and the, what comes next. I don't, this is brand new for me, and that's very, very brave. But there's a solidification that happens in this month where you get used to that energy of being thrown at this, that, and the other. You're not letting anything get in your way, but also you're not at that point where you want to fall back into, this is the way that we do it, and there's only one way, and I'm moving forward in action, action, action. You're really in this alignment of sort of surrendering. So really aligning with the mysteriousness of life. But again, having this really beautiful action moving forward. So there's various different results that can come up for you moving forward. And for some of you, it's not going to be about the results. It's going to be about integrating your next move into the world and taking those baby steps forward. For some of you, it will be, because it's a little bit different for each and every one of you. For some of you, it will be integrating into the world, but coming out of it in a way. So integrating your energy in the world, but coming out of it a little bit. So you could, again, get that macro version of what's going on and have a heightened view of everything that's going on. So you don't have to choose one way or another. You're seeing how things pan out. But I've got 3 things in the works. Let's see what comes up. But you're putting equal energy into each and every one of them. You're excited about each and every one of them. This is definitely a month of manifestation for you. This is a month of putting your energy out there and seeing what comes back, and really trusting that this is a new way of working for you. It's an interesting way of working. Again, really having that confidence of moving forward. Let's see how this, I really want to keep that 9 of Cups on the top here. We're gonna leave that there. This is a beautiful one. Can't go wrong with this card. So how does March end for you? You've got creation. That really is your word for the month, creation. It's absolutely gorgeous. Whatever you're bringing into fruition this month is absolutely happening, but it's being created on many different levels. It's being created in your mind, it's being created in your home, and integrated into the world, but in a very specific way. And these are original projects. This is original energy. This is with you shifting your energy, doing things in a completely different way. And again, not attached to the outcome, which is really interesting way of working. Yeah, you can absolutely, this is just, yeah, it's see what we've got. 3 of Pentacles, but you've got that action there too, and you've got the 10 of Wands. I want to choose a couple more for you here. Yeah, this is all about aligned action with your voice and really being clear about what it is that you're here to do. Okay, so this is really very much about what you're here to do in this lifetime, clicking into the blueprint and taking positive action and results, seeing those results that come in. You are absolutely not letting anything hold you back. You're saying, you know, I've been windswept, I've been doing this, I'm not going to let the doubts hold me back, I'm moving forward. I'm taking action, but you're taking aligned action. You're taking small baby steps. You're not going crazy. You're waiting to see. It's almost like a chess move with you know, playing chess with the universe. Or I'm going to take that baby step. Let's see what your next step is. And that absolutely works for you because it helps you sort of figure out the next move instead of sort of moving too quickly. You can sort of slow things down, but also you do feel as though this is absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, a month of action. It's just the way in which you're taking the action is a little bit different. You also, in the surrendering process, you're not taking on too much. You know that everything's going to be fine. There's an element of needing to surrender and wanting to surrender. But also you've been working through the anxiety of the other side of it, of surrendering. You know, will I be okay? This, you come out on the other side of that. There's a peacefulness to this month. There's a gracious moving forward and doing things on your own terms. And I feel as though that's not always happened. You're very strong, you're very independent, but you feel as though the way in which you've moved or integrated yourself or put your energy out in the world, something's taken over and you don't feel as though you're sort of, you know, in alignment anymore. It's gone off in different directions and you feel confused by this. This is a straight up alignment month where you're just seeing how things work out. And, you know, it might sound, you know, a year ago that might have sounded lazy to you. You know, I'm not stepping up in the way that I want to, but it's absolutely not true. And you know this now. You're not going to drive yourself crazy about all the different versions of what can happen. You're just going to know that you're really aligned with your higher self. And so you're moving differently. And you're watching too. You're watching your past. You watched how you did things before. So this is definitely a moment and a month of tangible action and watching your truth come into fruition. This is something that you're working on with your truth also. Being in alignment with your higher self and saying, this is what I want in the world. I'm not accepting anything less. This is you stepping up and saying, I'm going for exactly what it is that I want. But at the same time, what you want is to be in alignment with your own truth. And that can manifest in many different ways in the world. So there's many different things going on here. Just say yes. Absolutely. The way in which you're working it's working for you and you can feel it. And, you know, tangibly with your practical mind, it may not make sense on paper the way that you're going to be working in the month of March, but it gives you these tangible results and it gives you this peace of mind that you've never been before. And you don't go down those rabbit holes of like doubting yourselves of, you know, when things don't work out the way in which you want, because you've got that expansiveness moving forward. So expect great results here. Yeah, you've got awakening, energetic updates, and new way of being. That's what we said, integration. The way in which you integrate will look different. It'll look different to the way you've done it before, the months before. It'll look different to absolutely everything, and maybe look different to the way everybody else is moving in the world, but that doesn't matter. It's going to work for you. Keep the faith and don't worry. Don't think about stepping back into old ways of doing things. They don't work for you anyway. They never have, or recently they haven't. This is a new way for you to work. And also this is a new way for you to work in tandem with the universe. Again, stepping forward, allowing them to come back in with a counter move. You know, it's you're really playing the game and you're playing it to win. And this is a substantial movement forward as you move forward in the month of March. This really is kind of a game changer month for you. So stay on track. Keep up exactly what you're doing and remain open and expansive. And so many beautiful, bright creations will come in for you. And again, they can't even really be predicted by you at the beginning of the month, but that's fine. The way in which you start the month and the way in which you end the month of March will be incredible. It will be light and day. Things are coming in for you and they will come in quickly over the next 4 weeks. So again, keep the faith and work with the universe in that beautiful way and you will not be let down. So this is what we have for you, pile one. Gloriousness in the month coming up. Take it easy. Go be you. Subscribe if you feel as though that's something that you would be interested in. We'd love to have you, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a reading. And we are sending you so much love and light for exactly who you are and where you are in the world. Have a beautiful month. Until we meet again, take care. Bye-bye. Okay, beautiful pile twos. If you chose the red feather, then this is your rundown for the month of March. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to create some magic for you. So with the, what's it called? Making magic cards. We're going to pull a card for you for the energy in and around the month of March before we start pulling cards for you. Let's see what we have. You've got the elements of fire, air, earth, and water combined to create powerful protective boundaries, spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional. Amazing. You've got the 4 elements working in your favor, a lot of grounding, a lot of magic in and around you. It's very powerful energy to start off. So what we're going to do is we have 4 oracle cards, and of course we have our tarot. So we're going to break this month of March down into weeks. So your first week is your first card. You start off with guidance, and obviously you have that, and the number 33. So there's a mirroring image of coming in with it, a plenty of guidance and feeling secure in this month, at least at the beginning. And of course you will throughout the month, but feeling secure in the energy of month. There's a energy of March. There's an energy of excitement for a lot of you, and of course this is a general reading, but an energy of excitement mainly because a lot of you have had an interesting month in February. So the energy has shifted, or it's shifting at the end of last month. And this is something that you're absolutely picking up on and really loving, because there was, a slight energy of chaos or moving in and around. There was shifts in energy, dips in energy in the month of February. So just having kind of coming out of that energy already, there's a sense of excitement moving in, a sense of guidance, a sense of a new version of self-worth coming in too. You've got the Emperor for the first week. You've got 7 of Cups, and you've got the Moon. The Moon came up too in pile 1. So you've got hidden energies, things that you were working through in the previous month do come to fruition, do come in where, especially at the beginning of the month of March, you have these aha moments. Oh, that means that. All right, I get it. It's almost like, there was this element of the month before where there was so much that was going on, and you came up, caught your breath, and then something else came up. So you're going to be asked at the beginning, you're going to ask yourself at the beginning of this month, the month of March, what it is that you want to achieve. You feel as though you're back on track. You want to get back on track. You want to do something. So it's all about having tangible results. It feels as though you were being moved like a pawn, like on a chess set in February. So you're going to want to have aligned action. You're going to want to take action. You're going to have sort of a list of things that for some of you, for a lot of you, that you want to get done, and you're going to be feeling into that guidance. You're going to be feeling the strength and the confidence to do that, because there's a shift in energy from the month before, and this is something that you're very grateful for. And also there's, now that you're on the other side of that energy from the month before, things that were not hidden, but things that were coming up for you that you could sense, they really have integrated fully into your system. So you do feel as though you're coming into this month with a new profound sense of wisdom, and that's not a small thing. It means that you have a clearer vision, you have a clearer essence of who you are, and a clearer connection with your guides. You're heavily guided anyway, but sometimes you can get in your own way and kind of go off on your own thing, and your guides, they're at it again, and that's totally fine. You have a sort of a headstrong sense of self, and that's absolutely wonderful. But in this month, at least at the beginning, when you're coming into this month, you're going to use that headstrong sense of alignment and use that to your advantage. You're not going to be working against yourself. You're going to be saying, okay, how can I use this in a beautiful way that I work in the world, how can I do these baby steps and make something tangible in this month? You're really going to set down some roots in this month of something that you want to do, and it'll look different for each and every one of you. But this is definitely a month of moving forward, and this is a month of moving forward on your own terms. I'm being very specific about maybe what it is that you don't want, but making divine choices. Making choices. For some of you, you have so many talents and you can go off in so many different ways, and there's ways of you for going off in different ways and integrating all sorts of different things and bringing them together in quirky and wonderful ways, and all of that is great. For you, it'll be about simplifying this month and deciding several things that you want to go for and putting your energy into a sort of streamlined version of things, which is something that you don't always do, but it's going to, at least for the beginning of the month, the energy of the month, it's really going to solidify this month for being a month of activity, of really moving forward, and putting things sort of in alignment and getting those tangible results. So let's get you into the second week. Let's see what we have for you. You have Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. So this is absolutely a month for you to say, all right, all of these things that I wanted to happen can absolutely happen. Everything that I want is coming to me. There's a sense of divine timing, which happened in Pile 1 too. So this is in the collective energy. There's also a sense of divine timing so far as there's no point in waiting. There's no point in waiting. This is it. This is happening. It's happening right now. And realizing that there's this beautiful connection to self where you really, it's almost like, keep getting this vision of sort of a trampoline, and no matter what you do, you're going to bounce up and down and you're always going to be protected. Now, again, something happened in the month before that sort of, that took out some of that balance a little bit, and it worried you a little bit because you were kind of moving all over the place and you didn't feel that sense of security, at least at the beginning of the last month. But as you came out of it, you realized that no matter what, you're going to be okay, and you're taking that energy into the month of March, and you're solidifying that energy and heightening it and saying, not only am I going to be okay, I'm going to thrive, and this is my time. I have everything in line. I know what I'm doing. I'm good at what I'm doing. And a lot of you have a vision of what you want, and it's the time to activate. For sure. You've got the Ace of Cups. That's beautiful. Yep, you've got the Seven of Pentacles, and you've got strength. So whatever happened to you, and you've got the elements too, but you've got this grounding that's happening for you in the 4 quarters sort of the earth, which means that you've looked at every aspect of yourself, and you've released every aspect of yourself in all of the different realms that you have, the auric, the spiritual, the physical, to see what needed to come up and what needed to be integrated. And it felt as though you had a little bit of a time there with everything coming up, but you braved that storm and you got through it, and you're like, my God, I can do everything. This profound realization that really started the seeds at the beginning of the month of March. As you get into the second week of March, you realize that the worst is behind you. You really get to have this beautiful sweep of your life where you look back and go, oh my God, I survived this, I survived that, and and I can thrive. I'm an incredible person. Like, all of this really hits home, and it's partly because of everything that's been brought up the month before, which seemed chaotic at the time. But that month wasn't the time necessarily for bridging. It was for bridging the gap between the old versions of the different versions of you to come up with this version. But it wasn't necessarily a month for bounding forward. This is a month for bounding forward now that everything's been set in place, but not set in stone. So this is about you choosing what you want. This is a way for you to really ask for what you want. This is, for you, Paul, too, this is especially the second week. There's something that a lot of you have wanted, and you may be thinking, oh, it's kind of outside of my realm, it's kind of big, and you may have asked for it before, but you haven't really put your energy into it before. And some of you have even convinced yourself that you can't get it. It's not that you can't get it, it's just that the way in which you've asked for it before, you did think you could get it, but you didn't know if the timing was divine, or maybe it wasn't the right time or whatever. But you've been you've been really focusing in and out of this, whatever it is that you've wanted. And for some of it, it's quite huge, you know, a level of success or whatever, but it's really in focus this month, and it begins at the beginning of the month. But the second week of the month brings what you want into focus, and you can see it clearly. You can see it clearly, and again, you're really clicking into that divine timing. On top of that, you know that you can handle anything that comes your way. You know that you're ready for what it is that you want. You know that you're talented enough. That in itself, you already knew that you were talented. But now that you know nothing is too big for you, none of these dreams are too big for you. And with this solidifying of this knowledge, it's completely different for you. It's completely different. It's a game changer. You know, before you were like, you know, is this too big? Can I achieve this? Now it's like, there's no reason why I can't achieve anything, because everything I've been through has led me to this one existence, who I am now. And this version of me, I want to see succeed, right? In the past, you were waiting for different versions of you to go through, and all versions of you were wonderful, but this is the version of you that has the firm foundation that can invite in whatever it is that you want. It's absolutely happening. You can feel it. And this is kinetic energy that you can't take back. Once you're on this path, you know, in week 2 of March, you know it's moving forward. It's going to happen. So this is a level of excitement, but again, it's not in control. It's aligned excitement to see that you still have that expansion around you. So this is exciting. As this builds, you've got these blessings and abundance coming in. Things are shifting for you. Now, these could be, you know, smaller blessings and abundance that come in, but they're all coming in a fruitful way to sort of solidify your success in a very specific way, but to create these very firm foundations for you to move forward in any direction. So it means that all of your basic needs will be met. And that will be a tangible resource for you to be able to see and experience by, you know, the 3rd week of March here, moving forward. And this is all to do with your own energy in alignment. This is all about you and how you put your energy out there. You are creating this. You are creating this change and the shift, we should say. And it's all about you, and you are absolutely ready for this. Let's see what we have. You have the Ace of Wands. You got the beautiful cards here. Yeah, that's the old way of like, all right, you know, things are happening, but I don't know if I can keep them up. You know, the universe gives you great things and then it takes them away, or, you know, I can't have this high forever, you know, and that's just, you know, that's one way of seeing it. And that's the way that you did. It's almost like waiting for the shoe to drop. So even when good things happened, you were waiting for something else to happen to, you know, maybe not be so great. But this is a difference now. You've got the Knight of Wands, that passionate energy moving forward, a lot of Wands energy moving forward and taking all of this energy one step further in the 3rd week of March. So you're not working in the old ways anymore. You know that you have the power to move forward in the way that you do, and you can feel this energy building. And in the 3rd week, you know, there's external influences, things that you can see that's moving in the outer world, in the external world, because your inner world is, you know, your reality that you built for yourself, which is absolutely gorgeous, is it's being shined on and mirrored into the external world, and you're starting to see that come back. So you're really starting to see a growth in resources here in the 3rd week of March, and your basic needs being taken care of, which is a big thing for you guys, you know, coming out of from surviving to thriving. It's a very big thing to have that, to know that you have that moving forward. As you have that moving forward, then you have the security to move in a different direction. But it's a leveling up. It's a stable base that a lot of you have not had. You've had the stability, and then it's been shaken, and the stability, and that's been shaken. And the month before, it was all about being shaken. But you come back to this, and your energy didn't waver. The movement forward didn't waver. You always come back to being who you are, and this new trust and faith that you have in yourself, and of course the universe, means that you're working in a completely different way, which is going to yield you completely different results. And this is going to be very tangible by the 3rd week of March. So keep that energy up. That's incredible. Let's see what we have. How do you end the month? You've got the Power. This is just great, and you've got 16 or 7 if you put them together. Beautiful cards here. Coming into your own power we won't say in a brand new way, but utilizing it definitely out in the world in a new way, which is very exciting. It also brings you into completely different measures that you had before. So this is, a slightly unpredictable month for you, the month of March, but in a really unique and beautiful way. Expect miracles, expect good things to happen, but also a level of trust. You're not looking for the outside. You're not being shaken by the external, whatever happens in the world, and the external is not shaking you, because you know that you're unshakable. You've got this no matter what. And again, there's an excitement, a building of knowing that the divine timing is in and around you. So yeah, this is a movement and a knowledge that really, really builds and really solidifies by the end of the month. It was within you all along. You had the power all along, but now you feel that power, and you can shift your life, and you're doing this in tangible ways. And again, you have something in common a little bit with the energy of Pile 1, a little bit different outcomes, but a little bit of that energy, with that expansive energy, allowing things to happen very much in alignment with your intuition, the divine feminine rising up, but at the same time taking that action, but knowing that you're the one that is putting yourself out there. You're the one that's in control of how your energy is. You're the one that's calling the shots. You are not doubting yourself anymore. You're not letting self-doubt get in your way. This has happened at the beginning of the month. The beginning of the year. You came into the year 2022 and you said, this is my year. And then things were up and down. Good things happened, and then you got swept away. Good things happened. And this is a way of you bringing yourself back and saying, I'm not putting any pressure on myself, but this is divine timing. I'm doing this. I'm making this happen. And it starts with this really profound intention at the beginning of the month of March. And it culminates in this energy as you move forward. And this unwavering confidence of knowing that you're the one that has the power to do this. Now, you've always had the guides. You've always had the inclination. You've absolutely always had the talent to be out there and do what you want. Choosing which direction you go in has been a little bit difficult for you sometimes, but it's never been about lack of talent for you, Pile 2. And it's never really been about lack of commitment either. When you're committed, you're committed. If you're not committed, it means it's not quite the right step for you. You don't commit very quickly, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? That's just the way you are. But also at the same time, it's element of how you move forward. So this is something that you're moving forward in a very, very powerful way here. And again, you're not letting the past, the doubts, even when they come up, you're just saying, we're not doing this anymore. You're literally training your mind for success. And you're doing this in a very sort of firm foundational way in March, and it's going to show up in the external. Even the small ways that you're going to be protected or you're going to be taken care of, which are not small to you, but they are small in the larger scheme for things coming up. But this month is setting you up for this year of success. And this is going to be an extremely successful year for you, without a shadow of a doubt. So for those of you who came in really excited for 2022 and then said, pardon my French, this is a little bit of a shit show. What the hell's been going on? This is your month to solidify everything that you've gone through in the last couple of months, by the way. And there's been some successes in there. There's been some great insights. There's been a lot of different things, but you've also been windswept here and there. That was the clearing out of everything that needed to come up, right? And this, you knew that, but there was this element of not again. Oh my God. Which is totally fair enough. But everything that came up for you was brand new in a certain way. But yeah, it repeated some of the old stuff for sure. Had the energy of some of the old stuff. But this is, and we don't want to say this is a brand new beginning for you, but this is definitely a different way forward for you, where you get to yield results. Tangible results in this month too, and it solidifies a way forward for you to stay on this path for the rest of the year and really bring in that success that you sense and that you know is on its way. And you're absolutely right. You can feel it. But you're in alignment. You're not in control of it. You've got this expansive way, and a lot of you are even saying, and this is kind of a big deal for you guys, because before, you had pockets of alignment, and then you came out of alignment because it was taking too long, right? Pile 2, and then you went into, oh my goodness, all right, now I'm going to control this and bring this in quicker. And then of course that didn't work. But you have this like beautiful alignment where you're like, all right, I'm doing this, it's expansive, we're going to see what happens. And maybe what I believe I can have is not enough, so let's expand it out even further and see what else we can get. It's almost like you're betting on yourself in the month of March, but it's never going to be enough. Let's see what we can do. You're constantly pushing the universe to see how far that you can go, and that's a wonderful way of doing it, because you've got that firm foundation and you've got that beautiful self-confidence going in, and the time is right, the alignment is right there. So with this new energy, you're not settling for what you thought you wanted, you're going even bigger and better, and that takes a while, but that's fine, because it's coming in. Six of Swords, beautiful energy. So you're working with knowing that everything, let's put this on the other side, with the Ten of Swords here, knowing that everything that's happened for you, yeah, it happened for a reason. It did. We don't need to go into that. Some of it didn't need to happen really, but it did, and it hurt. But you're out of that now. You're out of the blame thing. You're out of like blaming yourself, blaming others, you're out of the old way of thinking. Anything, you're really strict with your mind sense this month, which is going to work for you. Anything that's not going to be in alignment with success, you're putting it aside. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going down that road. I'm not lending my energy into it. And as that, you're feeling as though you've definitely moved into a new plateau. Everything that you've been through, all the crap, whatever, is over. You are now into a new way of being. And this new sense of power comes up. And it's this very peaceful, calm kind of sense of power, like nothing can be taken from you because you've got this. It's very, very powerful. And honestly, it's very magnetic on all forms. Again, in a tangible form, people will be attracted to you. You will want to help you with resources. On a spiritual kind of essence with energy, there's nothing that you can't bring in that you want. I mean, everything that you want, you're on a vibrational match to it this month. So it's going to build, and it's going to build. The best thing that you can do is stay with the energy. Don't push it. Don't try and get out in front of it and do the thing that you did before and hurry it up because it's taking too long. This is just an energy of just building, 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 and allowing in. But this new sense of power and not going back to where you were before is absolutely wonderful. And really say, this is it. I've absolutely got this. The amount of help that you have in this month is incredible on all sides. It's a very grounded month for you. Stay in your own energy. Stay where you are. Keep that faith. If you try to go back into the old, it's not going to work anyway. So be very strong with your thoughts. I know emotions can teach us something great. We can sit with our emotions and see what they have to tell us. They're happening to us. They're happening for us, not to us. But you had that the month before. You got lost in that. You figured that all out. This is a time for the month on the other side of that now. This is just being very clear about what you want. And the success that you want, and again, moving that up, inching it up. What else can we go for now? What else? And it's not about more. It's just like being in accordance with your highest self and seeing how high you can go. And this is an incredible way to be. It's going to garner in success. It's going to set you up, and it's a very, very foundational month for you for the success going forward. And yet 2022 is definitely your year. Stay in this element and these elements and allow them to help you. It's going to be an incredible month for you. So that's what we have for you, pile 2. Wonderful. We are sending you so much love and light for exactly who you are and where you are in the world. Feel free to subscribe if you would like to. And we will see you on the next reading. Until we meet again. Bye-bye. Hey, beautiful pile 3s. If you chose the yellow feather, then this is your March rundown, the energies in March that are in and around you. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do that making magic. We're going to get you a little extra information, a little flavor for the month, what to expect. And then we will move into your reading. So let's see what we have. Time to shine creates the energetic resonance for golden opportunities. Beautiful. So that's the energy around your month of March. Can't say fairer than that, right? So what we're going to do is we have 4 oracle cards. We're going to break down the month per week. So we're going to start off with the first week, bring in some tarot for some extra clarity. So your first week is clear your energy, number 16, or if you put them together, 7. So clearing your energy, it is time to shine. So it doesn't feel as though you're too cluttered. It does feel as though we all had an interesting month, the month before, where a lot of information came to light and everybody felt as though they were a little bit all over the place. Well, not everybody, but some people did. So for you, it's just about a clearing out of the energy of the month before and moving in with a new energy for March. But there is this movement of like wanting to do things differently in this month. A lot of you are coming up with lists of things that you want to achieve, that you wanted to maybe achieve or move forward with the month before, but there was energies, it was just sort of up and down and all different ways. So maybe the energies weren't quite in alignment to move you forward, but you're feeling as though this is shifting in this time frame in this month, and you're absolutely right, it is, because this is your month to shine. But at the same time, everything that you went through the month before was aligning you up for this month, so you are not being caught unawares as you reach that successful height. So as you clear your energy, you're waiting for you've got this new energy coming in. You're ready for something new. Love it. You're ready for something new. You're ready to put yourself out there. You're ready to shift things in the way that you want to see them. You're not willing to bow down to anybody else's version of you or anything else that you think you should be doing. This is all about you. This is not an egotistical way. This is about you putting your needs first and saying, this is what I want, and being very honest with yourself from the get-go in the first week. And it feels as though for a lot of you, again, you shifting. The energy was all over the place the month before, and that was the month that you kind of wanted to solidify things, and a lot of you didn't quite get to do that. So you're coming in with a very sort of aligned version of how you can move forward, and it's going to be very successful. You're already set up. But you also feel as though the month before did shift and clear a lot of sort of debris out of the way, and then, so now you can see yourself a lot clearer, and what you can see is your confidence. What you can see is what was holding you back before. And what was holding you back was a sense illusion, and you can actually see that it was really illusion. What was holding you back, versions of yourself that were telling you that you were not enough, vibration is higher, doubts have shifted, because you saw the month before like how doubts can be in and around you and create this dark cloud, and then it stops your movement. And then to this month you're like, I'm not doing this. So you're setting up this month of March for action, for saying, I'm not doing this anymore. You're clicking. There's something something's been clicked, something's been activated within you, and you can't go back. You absolutely know that it cleared out your energy. You were forced to clear out your energy, really, because you were happy. Last month might have been really successfully starting off for you in some ways, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, what is happening? What is happening? This is absolutely crazy town, right? And this month it's like, all right, it happened. I came out on the other side of it. I want something more now. So the last month really solidified knowing who you are and wanting something different and having the confidence to go out for it. And there's, again, this happened in pile 1 and pile 2. There's a sense of divine timing. This is your time. And also there's nothing left of the remnants of who you were before. So you can't really go back to the old way anyway. This is a way for you, this profound confidence of stepping into your own version of self, being true to who you are, not settling for anything, and also not dumbing yourself down in any way. There was always an essence of the incredible confidence and incredible beauty, but every now and again you would dumb yourself down in certain situations because you just thought it would be easier. It's not like you don't believe that you deserve to shine. It's just that sometimes you come away from confrontation sometimes because it's just not worth it. And while we totally understand that, we absolutely understand that, there's also another way to be. You can still shine and still not be, engaged in any of that conflict. And this is what happened to you the month before, where everything was put out sort of on the table and you got to choose certain things. You got to see everything for exactly what it is. And you realize that, you know, the choices that you made, if you went in this direction, it didn't necessarily mean that you needed to give up this. You're really realizing and clicking into this activation at the beginning of March, that you can have everything that you want without having to compromise. And it's not egotistical. And it's not like a bollocks thing to do. It's a brilliant thing to do. And it's the timing is there. And this wistfulness of like wanting the life that you want, there's no reason why you can't have it. In the past, there was an element of you that convinced yourself that if you did if you did step up into the life that you wanted, there would be some kind of sacrifices along the way. Now, there's compromises, there's things in life that one must need to do, absolutely, but there doesn't need to be any sacrifices. You can have exactly what you want in every area of your life. So this is about solidifying this at the beginning of the month and keeping that balance and moving forward with this really beautiful essence of confidence that you have, that you've come out of. It's almost like, oh, I survived the month before, I can do anything now. You know, it's this element of communication too, the communication of standing in your own realm, knowing who you are and communicating exactly who you are without regretting it. And, oh, did I say too much or this, that, and the other? No, you're sharing yourself. The sense of vulnerability is really integrated into the beginning of the month, and it's very powerful for you. Very, very powerful for you. So let's get into the second week of your month of March. We have break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. So again, this is your time to shine. And this is the breaking the chains of how you thought that you were seeing things, or how you thought you could move before, what you thought you could have. And whatever you thought you could have was somewhat limited, but it's become a lot more expansive over the years. So well done on that. But this is a realization in a tangible form when you move into the weeks. And this is the second week of March, that you can absolutely have it all. And this excitement is building for you. And it's an incredible time for you to move forward. Now, this may not be a time for you, especially, let's see what comes up in your tarot, how you move forward. This is more about an energy that you're solidifying, which can bring in many different aspects of what it is that you want. That's not to say that, you know, divine action isn't warranted. Yeah, absolutely. It's more that Empress, beautiful energy, love this. Yeah, so this is more about, you've actually been planting the seeds for many, many years, right? So this is definitely about aligned action moving forward, without a shadow of a doubt. But this is about not fighting yourself for it. This is not about inner demons coming up and telling you that you can't have it. This is more about allowing what you've planted to come into fruition. A lot of you have already been putting out energy out there. You've been moving forward in different directions. But when you get to a certain plateau where you've never been before, you're immediately excited, and then you're really happy. And then you start doubting yourself because you've never been there before. And this has been a process for you. But this is tapering off now, this new excitement coming out, starting the month differently, moving into the second week where you're getting out of your own way. And now some of this is breaking the chain. Some of this is rewriting your future, because you're working on the bloodline. Because some of this stuff really isn't you. It's just like, don't expect too much because you won't keep it, or, you know, who do you think you are? That's what some of these things are, just in your bloodline because of just the essence of your ancestors, you know, what they could achieve at that time. But they're working with you also too. There's been a dumbing down in your family beforehand, and an essence of not really showing who you really are. So this is something that's again in your bloodline, but it's not really who you are. You were here to shine. You were here to be integrated fully into the earth, and you were here not to, not to hold yourself back in any way. And this is something that really solidifies in this month. Now, the second week of this month is where things get really interesting, because you can really see where you've held yourself back, and you're really honoring your magic in a new way. And this energy is allowing this space and freedom to give space to what it is, again, that you've planted these seeds before. So things will be coming back to you now. Things will be, whatever's been planted will have the chance to grow, but it'll be growing at an accelerated rate. So at this time where you were, you've been working on planting these seeds sort of your whole life one way or another and doing things a certain way, but you've never really seen a huge payoff from them. But this is a time where you can start seeing that. You can start, things start shifting. Now, in this second week, this is when you start seeing the external start coming back and reflecting your energy. And you're like, I could really have this. I could absolutely really have this. Stay with that energy. Don't get in your own way. Don't start doubting yourself. You can really have this. You're absolutely getting to the point where you can really envision and you can absolutely see, feel, hear, and think this into fruition. And you've done the aligned action. You've been working, you planted those seeds, you knew you were there. This, for some of you, this is a long-term dream that you may have had, where you can really see it come into fruition because you're here to do it in this lifetime. Let's move into the third week, because this is really moving forward in a glorious fashion. So you have angelic protection. So when your energy is protected in this way, you've got the 10 of Cups, which is beautiful, this energy coming in. Happy home, stability, this new version of stability that's coming in, which really allows you to kind of move in any direction, because if we don't have a stable base, we're not going to feel secure in moving in any direction. That's coming in for you in a big way. That's going to be solidified for you in the third week of March. But also when you have this kind of divine protection coming in, it also means that something big is going to be in and around you coming into fruition. So this is going to be a very exciting month for you. Hold the faith. Hold the faith. It's important that you do this. This came up in Pal too. And you've got the Tower here. It's so important for you, Pal 2, and you do this. Now, remind yourself this, create the energetic resonance for golden opportunity. You've got to create this energetic resonance because it's time to shine. You get to this point, you start doubting yourself, and then you pull it all down. You look to the past of, how things cannot work out, and look to the betrayal of everything that's happened, and maybe it's not the right time. You do this. When you get to the point, you get really, really excited. You get to this plateau and then you pull back, This is the energy of the month to keep going and have the faith. Do not let this Tower moment come in and deter you. Let it not do that. You've been through the month before. You know what it can do, and you've been here before. So you know the pattern of it. You absolutely know the pattern of it. You know that if you give in to this energy, it brings you down in this way, and then it takes you too long to, it gets you a long time to get back up to that excitement again. Do not worry about it. This is past energy. If it comes up, let it go. And sometimes we say, when emotions come up, stay with the emotions. They can tell us something. They're happening for you, not to you. But sometimes you've got to say, this is coming up again, and there's no point in it. I've been here before. I'm not doing it anymore. So see the difference in this, especially if it comes up in March, the third week of March, because things are going to be really, really moving forward at the beginning of March. And then when you come into the third week, as you start seeing this vision, you're like, this is happening. This is when it comes in. Watch your mind. You've got a lot of beautiful energy in and around you, supporting you in the ground, on the earth, like in and around you, tangible energy. And you've got angelic protection here. They're in and around you to create this level of security for you, to know that you can have what you want. This is really important moving forward. I want to get a couple more cards for you on week 3. This is a pattern that you do, and you have the chance to finally break that pattern this month. And this pattern doesn't bring you anywhere. You know this. You absolutely know this. This is not a place that you've not been before. You've been here 100 times before. You know how it ends. Yeah, you got the Ace of Cups. And you've got the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune can move in any direction, 180. This is your chance to move it in the right direction. The Ace of Cups, everything you want is coming to fruition. You can feel this. You've got to stay with the energy. Don't you dare go back to this old stuff, because the Tower moment, the Tower brings it all down, and then you just have to come back up again. This is momentum that you are creating, and you've created this momentum in the first 2 weeks of March beautifully. So keep it up. Now, let's see what happens at the end of the month. Growth, without a shadow of a doubt, you've got 5. This is a month for growth too, but this is a month for profound action. to do things differently, to create a new momentum for you to move forward, and also to create that life that you want. This is the time to do it. There's something that's clicked in essence with you where you're like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going back to the old way that I've done this. And you've gotten to the point where you've gotten tired of yourself and you're not going to do it anymore. So stay with that energy. Don't go back to how you were doing things before, because you're extremely powerful. Your energy is extremely powerful. So when you turn it against yourself, you're very powerful, and you can sense that, right? You can stop things in motion. The Hierophant is great, and the Hanged One, that's it. That came up, I think, in pile 1. This came up in pile 2. So there's energy here of moving forward. There's a time frame here. You're on the right timeline. Keeping in with that power and being a light, a guide for other people. Now remind yourself, when you get into this energy of pulling yourself down, you're not just doing this for yourself. And it sounds a little bit weird, but bear with us. You know, the more you shine, the more you give license to other people to shine. So you're not just doing this for yourself. You're staying strong. You're holding this growth for yourself. You're doing this for other people, because other people need you too. Now you're not doing this just to, for other people. Obviously it needs to come from within you first. But remember, when you pull yourself down, you're taking yourself out of the world. You're taking your wisdom out of the world. The more you shine, the more light you can give to the world. So there's many different reasons you can convince yourself not to go back to the old. Everything you've done, it's all about choosing something different and solidifying it. And this is the month that you can do that, and end this month beautifully and gloriously by coming out on the other side of that, knowing that you're never going back to that sort of self-sabotage thing, and keeping that growth with you, knowing that it's all there for you. This is a month of profound growth for you. And, staying with the faith, by the end of the month of March, you're not going to go back to how you did things before. It will be impossible for you to do that, because your vibration will be too high. You will be doing things differently. And again, sometimes you need to do things to death to really piss yourself off, so you know that you'll never go back there again. That's your just personality. You learn from experience. There's nothing wrong with that. You've always been that way. Knight of Cups moving forward, and the Five of Swords. Yeah, no longer fighting against yourself, moving forward and using your sense of communication and sense of emotionality to really connect with other people. But you're using that to connect to yourself this month in a really, really profound, beautiful way, which brings you these results. Now, these results may seem like, oh, they're not that tangible. It doesn't seem like, a huge month for me. This is a massive month, because this is putting everything at a foundational level where you can move in any different direction. As we say in Unicorn Light Tarot, any direction that you want to in this lifetime. And starting with this month, let's get you a couple more cards to finish off this month of March. Yeah, this month really is about having that confidence to go for exactly what you want, and know that it's going to look even better than you thought it was going to look. Having that confidence and that courage. Again, this is really not about in any way lacking the faith necessarily that, that you won't achieve it, that you don't have any of the resources, or that you don't have the talent. This is just about the self-sabotage, being on the other side of it now. Seeing everything that you've been through as a version of yourself to get you to this version of yourself right now, if that makes any sense. So you've been pushing yourself to different versions so you can just say, I don't want that anymore. And now you're at this point of this courage and this light that's shining. And again, it's time to shine, and you've got the sun here, which is absolutely beautiful. So you are ready, knowing that you are the one that's going to create these golden opportunities. You already have everything, all your ducks in a row. You've already planted the seeds. You already have the talent. This is about you showing up in a different way and not self-sabotaging yourself, and also getting to the point where you're on the other side of this growth, so you don't fall back into this routine that you've done before. This is all about you solidifying your communication about and being very clear about what you want, and stepping into the resonant energy of being able to move forward and be able to be a receptor for what it is that you want. No longer inner fighting within yourself, dumbing yourself down in any way, just being, this is who I am, this is it. So there's a new way of a new sort of profound freedom here in the way in which you communicate, in the way in which you move out in the world, especially in the month of March. And you'll be able to see this sort of accumulate, this confidence accumulate, the way in which you articulate yourself, the way in which you're getting different results throughout the week, especially from week 2 all the way to the end of the month. Now, the end of the month is it's really going to be sort of a dramatic shift for you, where you'll be able to look back on the month of March. If you stay in this resonance and be able to say, this was a profound month for me, I can actually feel that things will never be the same again, in a really, really good way. So this is all about the energy of keeping it up, moving forward. And we want to be very clear here, this is not the energy of completion necessarily. This is the energy of a new beginning, but there is a sense of foreshadowing of completion, of course, because you're not going back to who you were before, how you did things before. There's nothing wrong with who you were before. But this is also a movement of knowing that the movement in itself, contained within the energy of resonance, is exactly what you need. You're taking the right steps. You're not overthinking. You're not overdoing. You're staying in the energy that you need to, and keeping that vibration high and that confidence high. So the way in which you move in the world will be different, and you'll be able to see people's reactions and situation shift and change based on the sort of the new way that you're working, and the growth will show itself. The way in which you're sort of growing and sort of solidifying where you are now, that is going to show in tangible ways. The universe definitely is going to step in. You're going to be able to see this. This is going to be a month like no other. When you look back, you'll be able to not compare it with other months. It's going to be a month where you kind of put your confidence on the map, and you get very, very clear about what it is that you want. In the past, you've been quite clear about what you don't want. And you thought you were clear about, the stuff that you wanted, but when you started going down the path, you were like, do I want it? And then, it's this energy of yes, no, and then things got a little bit murky, and you didn't end up moving forward quite in this way that you wanted to before. And this is also something that you do. So staying clear on the path of what you want. Now, it may not see, you may not see to the end of it what that's going to, the specifics of it, but something like, I want to be successful doing this, or I want this energy in my life. Whatever it is that you're clear about, you will know that you absolutely want. And these are things that can come into fruition in this month of March. So keep up with the energy. It's definitely going to accumulate. You have the energy to move forward. And don't think, again, this is another thing that comes in for you, that you don't have enough resources, or you don't have quite enough to pull it off. And that's something that starts. That's the seed sometimes that starts, and then the other doubting things come in. So you can really see in this energy, if you even start with, I don't know if I'm, it's not that you don't think you're good enough. It's just that there's an essence of not knowing enough. Maybe I don't know enough or be, quite where I need to be to pull off what I want. You do know enough. You have enough knowledge. You always do. But if that seed starts getting planted anywhere in the month of March, pull yourself back and say, I'm not doing this anymore, because that's how it starts. And then it goes in, and then it ends up being a roller coaster of whatever, of inner fighting. So if that comes up, that's a warning for you to be, and it's not necessarily a bad warning, it's a good warning. It'll let you know, we're going to start going in that direction. We're not going to do it. So this is going to be very clear cut in the month of March, of not going back to the old way of thinking. And this is a way for you to move forward in a way that you never have before, and make 2022, your bitch, really, at the end of the day. Pardon my French. But, this is a profound year for you, and it starts in this month to really start seeing how everything can play out really, really quickly. And once you are on this sort of this path of the sun, where you're not letting the old stuff come in anymore and those doubts come in, the path is very quick, and it only gets quicker. This can be instantaneous. This is a tweak in perception. You've done a lot of the work moving forward. So this is just about clearing the way so you can see a new way to be. So this is a profound month for you. Keep the faith. Again, when you get those little inkling things of, sorry, my cat's having a meltdown in the back room, but if you get an inkling of this, of, those self-doubts, I don't have enough, pull yourself back immediately. That's your sign to pull out and say, I'm not doing that. Remember, we're not doing that. You're not going down that road. You're not reserving any time and effort into that this month. This is all about movement forward. This is all about what you already know. Remember, you've done this before. The self-sabotage, you are a master at it. You don't need to do this anymore. Remember, this is your time to shine. You're creating the energetic resonance for golden opportunities. This is your month. And as the weeks go on, it's only going to get better and better. Keep the faith, go be you. So this is what we have for you, pal. Beautiful 3. We're sending you so much light and love for exactly who you are and where you are in the world. Enjoy your upcoming month. It's going to be fabulous. Just keep the faith. If you're feeling like you want to subscribe and you haven't already, we'd love to have you. Click that bell icon so you never miss a video, and hit that like button too. It helps out the channel. Very much appreciated. Until we meet again, pal 3, take care. Bye-bye.